Hey,
Hey,
hello, Dr. Kang. It's so nice to meet you or be here with you. Thank you for meeting me at this time.
thank you for having me.
Of course. So, will you please start by introducing yourself and then explaining what your role is in the Child Development Department at CSUSB?
Of course. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Hyeongok Kang. It's very difficult to pronounce. Yeah. Hyeongok Kang. And I'm originally from South Korea, and I've been living in the United States for almost 7 years now. And I am now working as an assistant professor in the Child Development Department. Actually, this is my first year, and I am the newest faculty in the department. And I am very grateful for to be part of this wonderful community.
Yes, we love having you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so this one is like a fun fact or an icebreaker question, but can you tell us one fun fact about you that most of your students or colleagues might not know?
Sure. I believe Stacy don't know about it as well. So okay. So and also fun fact, fun fact question. I think this is the hardest question
Yeah.
personally. I don't easily think of any fun facts about myself. But maybe this is a fun one. So I have a cat named Rika, spelled Rika.
Okay.
And I named him after Americano because my husband and I both love coffee. And we intentionally used K instead of C because we think it's cuter. And
Mhm.
yeah, I adopted him during the pandemic. And you know what? Originally, I didn't have any plans, adopting any cats at that moment. But when I visited the shelter and, you can play with cats there. So I spent some great time, with Rika, and then I put him back in the cage. And then, I wanted to think more about the adoption more seriously and thought like thoroughly, we need some time to think about this big
Mhm.
decisions. But he looked at me, when I when I put him back in the cage, he looked at me and then he like meow meow and then this and you know what? This was the part that got me. So and then he started rubbing his body on the cage. Oh no. So I felt so guilty leaving him there. So I adopted him on the spot, I can't resist it. So now he's a big part of my life. And here's fun fact about me. Um, so even though I love my cat Rika a lot, but I feel like, I am a dog person.
Oh.
So yeah, it's complicated.
Mhm. Would you ever get a dog in addition to having Rika?
Hopefully, at some point, but I'm not sure whether my Rika would be tolerate about, having
Right.
having his company.
Mhm. Same with my cat. I feel like if I ever tried to get another cat or any other animal, she would just like freak out. She has really bad anxiety, my cat, so she would hate that.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's what cats do.
Of course. But I feel like when like you're supposed to have a cat, like it'll just call out to you. Like I wasn't planning on getting my cat either, but like it just happened. I feel like it's always meant to be.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for answering that. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to pursue research in early childhood education and technology?
Okay. So thank you for asking. I really like this question. And I think also this is gonna be I feel like this is gonna be a really long, answer. But we have limited time, so I will try to make it brief. What led me to pursue research in this field? So let me tell you a little bit about my educational background first.
Mhm. Yes, please.
So yeah, so I received both my bachelor's and a master's degrees in child and family studies in South Korea at the Yonsei University. And when I learned this field of knowledge in my undergrad, I came to firmly believe that early childhood education, early childhood experiences is the key to contributing to a better world, I would say. Also, I've seen how childhood experiences and family experiences deeply shape someone's lives. So I believe it is tremendously important. Early child education is important not only for individuals but for society. So I decided to go to the master's program with a specific focus in early childhood education. Then I experienced the joy of research there, and I believe, oh, this is my thing. I really like it. I really want to research. Um, and then I thought I could have deeper, more broad, deeper and broader experiences by studying abroad. So I went to the University of Georgia to pursue my doctorate degree in early child education. So this is basically how I got into the field of early childhood education, inspired by both personal and educational experiences. And you know what? I think I also even think I instinctively love young human beings. Observing them, young kids, how they behave, how they play, kind of gives me joy and hope. So that's pretty much how I ended up studying in early child education. And technology, on the other hand, is more, I think, closely tied to my personality and my childhood experience, I would say. Uh, so I've always loved adopting new things, and technology was one of them, I would say. When I was in elementary school, it was the era where when personal computers became common, the internet was introduced to homes, and I remember uh, I used to chat with friends online, and I ended up uh s- first I don't know how, but eventually I taught myself the programming language HTML and I was able to create my own website with cute little moving emojis, and I was fascinated by how I could make things. Thank you for so I was fascinated by how I could make things move and express my ideas in very creative ways. So I think those memories are closely tied to my relatively open attitude toward technology. So I feel like technology can give you some voices or some liberating experiences even. So but when I entered this field of early child education, I noticed there is a lot of resistance to integrating technology. And many teachers or researchers believe that technology should be banned for young kids because it's harmful, but I have a strong feeling that simply banning technology wasn't the answer, because I could see, the wave coming. So instead, I wanted to investigate how we could how we could use it meaningfully. What I mean by meaningfully is ethically, critically, and in developmentally appropriate ways to support young kids' learning and development. So fortunately, during my doctoral program, I was able to research this topic, the intersection of technology and early child education, with my amazing advisor, because she already has conducted a handful amount of thoughtful research on robotics education with young kids. So so yeah, that's how I ended up pursuing research in early child education and technology. So yeah, that's long story short, I followed both my, I would say, my passion and curiosity, and here I am.
I think that's so amazing. And I feel like I can also really tell like you are so passionate about like inclusivity and technology in the early childhood setting. Like from like personal experience, like when I took your class, like the articles we read and like how you made us like critically think about it. I feel like through that, like we could see your passion for the field. And I think it's amazing to have a faculty member like so passionate about that. Because you're right, like I feel like there is a lot of resistance to technology, and I kind of understand it, but like how you said there's like a way to do it that is like critically meaningful and developmentally appropriate. But
Mhm.
thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate.
so you are in charge of the Field Tech Lab here at CSUSB. What is the mission of the Field Tech Lab and how does it contribute to early childhood education research?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I am very excited to talk about my lab with you. So Field Tech stands for Fostering Equitable Early Learning Through Technology.
Mm.
So the goal of this lab is to create research-based evidence on how technology can support positive learning environment for young children. Specifically, I'm interested in social emotional development. Um, and so I apologize for the description, which is a little bit outdated on the website about my research lab current project. So I'm happy to share more about my current project. Would you like to hear more?
Yes, please. We would.
Okay, so right now I am working on a very exciting study, looking at how structured and open-ended robotics activities influence young children's emotional regulation and perseverance. So let me share actually my screen. I would love to, I I'm a visual learner, so I always love to share like visual things. So let me share my screen to give you a quick visual of how like what this research looks like.
Mm.
So one of the tools we are using right now is the robot mouse. So it's a mouse-shaped robot with command buttons on top. So when children press the buttons, the robot moves in the direction they input. So on the left side, in the structured left activity, children are given clear instructions and specific goals. For example, they are asked to push the buttons according to given instructions to move the robot mouse through a maze to get a piece of cheese. On the other hand, in this open-ended design on the right side, children can set their own goals and path. So I will attach markers to this robot mouse, and when children press the buttons, the robot moves and leaves colorful trails. So in
Mm.
this open-ended task, children can decide where the robot mouse should go and what patterns or shapes it should create. And these activities will be recorded, and we'll analyze how children engage in these tasks. So, for example, we will observe how whether the child stays focused or gets distracted, continues to try despite challenges, or experiments with new strategies or gives up, and so on. So the findings from the study will contribute to, I believe, to a better understanding of how to create, developmentally appropriate learning environment using educational robotics with preschoolers.
Right. Have you started collecting any data yet?
Oh, that's a really good question. So currently, I am planning to collect data. So starting next semester, we will be collecting data at the Children's Center.
Oh. How
Yeah,
fun.
how fun, right? And currently I'm working with four amazing student researchers who volunteered to be part of this team. And if you're interested in getting involved, feel free to email me.
Thank you. We actually did have a question about like what kind of qualities you look for in students joining the lab, but it's later on, but you could answer it now since we're on the topic. So the question is, the Field Tech Lab provides hands-on research opportunities for students. What skills or qualities do you look for in students who want to join the lab, and how can they contribute to its mission?
Yes, so thanks for asking. So I am looking for, first of all, if you don't have a research background, it's okay. It's totally fine. That's whole point, to
Mhm.
join this lab, to get more research experiences. So I am looking for a student who has a collaborative mindset because I will work as a team. So I want you to prepare this collaborative spirit. Um, and another thing that I can think of is I want you to have passion for learning.
Mhm. Very important.
Yeah, that's important, right? Um, and also, if you join this lab, you let's say if you join this lab next semester, then you will have the opportunity to go to the children's center with me with other team members, research team members, and conduct an experiment. And you will also participate in our regular lab meetings to get more trainings. And you will also learn how to analyze data qualitatively and quantitatively, and you will get experience writing papers and how to disseminate, results of this research and so on. So yeah, you will get all this research related skills, which will help. I think it's will valuable for your future career, either whether you are interested in becoming a researcher or not.
I agree. Are you taking honor students next semester?
I do.
Okay, so that's also something that we can um tell students like okay, like you can also do honors and then work with Dr. Kang.
That's what I really want. Yes.
I love the honors program.
You do, right?
I
Do
do.
do you want to talk about your honors program kind of experience?
Um,
Not now. Okay.
I
It's
was
okay.
like, no, we'll let you be the main focus.
Okay, okay. Maybe next time.
But okay, so I know that you also explored like play integrated digital tools like Scratch Junior. Are you still using that to support like young children's social emotional learning? And yes, are you?
So it's actually like my past research.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So you moved on to the robotic mice.
Sorry.
You kind of like shifted gears to the robotic mice.
Yes, I do. Yes. So our current project is more kind of geared toward tangible robots.
Did you want to explain like a little bit about like what you found doing research with Scratch Junior?
Sure, why not? So so there are many different findings, but I would say um Scratch Junior, I found Scratch Junior allow young kids to tell their own stories and express their ideas and build confidence, especially for children from bilingual or immigrant backgrounds. So, what I found is digital tools can enhance early learning, but when they are used thoughtfully and purposefully.
Okay. How would you describe like using it thoughtfully and purposefully?
That's a really good question. So, so I remember that. So you were supposed to ask about like the screen time or something, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, so maybe I can talk about that, like tying with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of
So
course.
you know, this screen time like is quite a popular topic that comes up often when it comes to digital tools in early child education setting. And I think we should think about first, what do we really mean by screen time? And then also how to use it. And you also think about what is good for what do you mean by purposefully and thoughtfully, right? So there
Mhm.
are not many research related to that question. So I think this is a really good topic to explore further. And from my research, I focused on interactive and creative and child-led and culturally responsive way to use technology. So in my study, children created animated stories, animated digital stories by bringing their own voices, their own cultural values, their own daily experiences, their own language repertoires, and so on. So for them, it was meaning making process and meaning making identity, exploring experience as well. So yeah, so it's not just screen time, right? So in that context, so yeah.
Would you recommend like for children doing it at home, like doing it with a parent to make it more like intentional or like in like what's the word like joint attention, or do you think it's also like meaningful even if they're doing it by themselves?
It really depends on their levels
Right.
and their ages, So at first, I would say if you're like third graders, then that's fine. But if you're a kindergartner and this particular questionnaire tools are is designed for K to 6, like this ages, so 5 to 7. So it's for young kids. So when it comes to this age groups, then I would say you need supervision at first with your parents or with your like teachers and yeah, and so on.
Right. Well, thank you. Um, okay, what impact do you hope your research will have on educational policies and teaching practices in the future?
Yeah, so I think it's really real similar what I already said about my goal, like my mission for of this my mission of this field tech lab.
Mhm.
So yeah, I hope my research informs policies and practices that use technology um, in thoughtful, inclusive ways and developmentally appropriate ways, of course, to support young children and children's development and learning.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Looking back at your time as a student, what is one piece of advice you wish you had received when you started your own academic journey?
Yeah, so I really like this question as well. So I came up with two different scenarios. So if you are a first year student, you just you just started college, I would say meet people and try many new things, many different experiences. So do you remember? Do you know how many flyers on the bulletin board next to the elevator in our building?
Oh yeah, it's always like full to the brim.
Right. Have you ever looked at it before, like intentionally?
Yes, I
You
have.
did? Oh, that's great. So see, look at you, right? You are doing good job. So join a club, like this child development club and
Yeah.
volunteer, right? And check out any events that sparks your interest. So take a look of the flyers, and any information, any updates on campus, what's happening, and so on. So yeah, that's kind of advice for first year students. And if you are already in the major and you are kind of I'm ready to graduate and in that situation, first of all, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. You made it. Hang in there. And at that point, I would tell you, take some time to reflect on yourself and reflect on who you are and what you want to do, especially how and what you've learned in this program to shape your future, how you would like to contribute to the society using the lessons that you've learned in this department.
Thank you. I think that's wonderful advice. And I would agree with the first one. Um, when I had like really late classes and I would have like a gap, I would always go on Coyote Connection and look at like what events were happening this day and see if there was anything. And on this campus, we have a lot of things like they've had karaoke, they've had like a drag show, and then they also obviously have like events related to like our major, which is very meaningful to go to. So I'm just agreeing with you. Like it is really meaningful to go to the events and it kind of helps build community too. And it makes you feel like more at home on campus. So I think that was great advice. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's a really good point, like a sense of belonging, right?
Hmm. Thank you. And then one last question. Do you have any words of advice or comments you would like to share in addition to what you just shared?
Sure. So, I would like to say, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. I think that's very important. Um, you're precious. You're valuable. So, please be kind to yourself. And also, I would like to say, don't afraid to ask questions or seek support because we're here to help you. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Um, that was it for the questions. So thank you for being here and for answering everything so thoroughly. I
Thank
really see like your passion for child development and even being your student, I had noticed it too. So I love seeing that.
Mhm. Thank
Any
you so much.
and then Dr. Morris did ask a question. She said, "What is your favorite thing about working at CSUSB?"
It's you. So, I mean it. So, what's the favorite thing? Actually, you know what? My students and my colleagues, people.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That's great. Mm, Um, I think that's it then. I enjoyed doing this interview. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Of course, I really enjoyed our conversation a lot. Thank you for all of good questions.
Of course, Brianna also like helped create them, so thanks to her too.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Bri. Okay, well, thank you. I guess we can end it here. And then Dr. Moore says thank you too.